Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 12th round of the League of Europe PC League. Next to me joining is Mike. Hello, Mike.
Hello, how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing very good, thank you. How's you?
I'm excited to see some fantastic racing here around Monza, one of the best tracks on the F1 calendar. See how these guys get on.
Yeah, I'm curious what the fastest lap will be because we got here Mr. Anka. I mean, I'm sure he would be very fast, but like we today, Jake can't be here tonight due to an illness, but I'm sure if someone can challenge him today for the pole position.
Yeah, with VSR Jake not being here, it's a perfect opportunity for Mr. Anga to extend his already impressive championship lead. And we'll just have to see if he's going to get all 26 points or
Yeah,
if he's going to have a challenger out there.
yeah, exactly. Like everything is possible on in the online, and like I believe that Jake still can sort of come back. Although the point gap is pretty big, though. Like I will go through the standings right now. We got Mr. Anka with 240 points in the lead. We got then VSR Jake with 152 points. In third place, we got Exal Zedema, the Dutch driver for the McLaren, with 128 points. Then we got TL Warren with 120 points. Like he's only 8 points after Zedema, so it will be interesting to see this race too. In fifth place, we got Vallejo and with 69 points. Um, in sixth place, we got E2 with 54 points. Seventh place, we got Axel Bray with 53, also a very close battle. Eighth place, we got Kuip Janssen with 39 points. Apologies. In ninth place, we got V5 with the Mercedes with 37 points, and in 10th place, we got Graham with 29 points. So
Yeah,
as
so
you can see, we are now at the beginning of the third sector through Ascari, following E2, who is on a flying lap. What do you think that the pole time will be, Mike?
I think we're going to see some people break into the 17 chair.
Yeah, oh, we
But
got a retirement already. We got Kup who crashed out of the exit of Ascari. I'm not sure if he lost it there or not, but yeah, we got now E2 with a 119.1 as a first qualifying time. So it's a pretty good lap if you ask me. So
fantastic banker for E2 there, and we have Tiggsy in second on the set of the mediums. I'm just on board with Mr. Anger as he goes through sector one, coming up to the Lesmos now. The championship leader holds it in fifth gear for the first Lesmo up into sixth. Now it's all about the exit in the second Lesmo and opening it up. DRS down the second DRS straight. There is two available at this track as we come now into Ascari. Is he going to invalidate it? Very easy to do so. No. And he doesn't make the same mistake as Kirky as the run now down to Parabolica.
in the meantime, other guys. Oh, Mr. Anka lost it. He lost it
Yeah,
at the
he
last corner of Parabolica.
just getting on the throttle just a little bit too eagerly there.
He got very lucky with not touching the barriers or anything like that. That he just can. Oh, he will still finish his lap. So he got a 128.8, but I think he can improve on that lap.
Yeah, it's always worth just get that lap on the box. He knows that apart from the final corner, it's good to have that delta in sector one and two for him to really work off. So he'll know there's definitely a lot of time that he can gain in that final corner, but he'll also know that his first and second sectors will be where you can look at the delta to see where he can improve.
Also, a fun fact to mention right now, we got Dixie and Rolling Rick on the medium tires who put it on the lap. Would you think that they would stick with that lap or just want to get rid of that tire compound?
I mean, it all depends really, because I would think the mediums would be used as more of a cider lap to be used first of all. But with only 13 guys in this lobby, you could qualify in the top 10 on the mediums.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I wouldn't be too mad if I was a driver right here and start on P11 with like fresher tires. Like, you have the perfect tire strategy. Go for like medium soft tire, because that's basically the strategy. That's gonna be it. You're gonna be soft mediums or medium softs. But in the end, if you start on the medium tires and you gonna keep going longer after it, and then in the end going onto the softs, you're gonna have that advantage in the end.
Yes, and I'm on board with Zudema as he's just started his lap, so probably stay on board with him for this lap as he takes us through a lap of Monza, breaking down into the first two corners, the chicane, as he gets the traction down now into turn 3, the Curva Grande, as he opens it up, tries to take a very tight line there, minimize the distance to the second chicane of turns 4 and 5. Very important to hit the curbs there, really opens up the corners lovely as we go into the first of the Lesmos, and braking just before the 50 as we go into the second Lesmo, using all the track possible. Again, the DRS wide open now on the run down into Ascari, and we saw earlier that this corner actually claimed one of the qualifiers here today. Zudema keeps it on track, takes it lovely. Now the run down to Parabolica. Hopefully he doesn't do what Mr. Anker done moments ago as he breaks down, holds it in 4, short shifts up into 6th, and to the line he will come. And what is this going to be?
That's a very fast lap. That's in 180.3. So very well done from the McLaren driver.
Yes, an 18.3 from Zudema there. Absolutely fantastic lap from the man in the McLaren.
We also
And
have
that's going to complete him.
his teammate who is now finishing his lap. What's that gonna be? It's gonna be P2. So McLaren 1-2 at the moment. Pretty impressive if they're gonna keep it like that. But I'm sure a lot of guys will still improve their lap times, and I'm sure the McLaren guys will too. Oh, we got the Velo just destroying the 100 meter board and the 50 meter board too. And I think who is that? Yeah, Mistranka went just skipped the first chicane basically to let the other guys through.
Yeah, but this is interesting that we are seeing Mr. Anker starting to struggle at this track. He's been so dominant in the PC tier throughout the entire season, but maybe we found his bogey track, so to speak.
Yeah. In the meantime, we got Tixi in the Renault going to P2 with a 180.694. So he's only 3/10 of Zarema, but so far Zarema really with that lap, I think he got a pretty good gap between all of the rest of the guys.
Yes, Roland Rick has lagged out the session, which is going to be unfortunate for him. Hopefully he can get back in ASAP before qualifying ends. But right now, Zudema, the man on provisional pole, and it is a McLaren 1-3 at the moment.
Let's see who is else on the fastest lap. I think, yeah, Mr. Anka is gonna start though on a flying lap, so let's follow with him. He's on the main straight right now in 8th gear, DRS wide open. You gotta brake around 100 meter board. Oh, he locked up a little bit at the first and short shifting to 4th gear up to keeping the distance short on the right hand side of the track. Watching for that 100 meter board once again, braking hard, skipping over the first curb, over the second one. He goes fast in the first sector, going into the first Lesmo, 5th gear, short shifting to 6th. Now back to 5th gear, 4th. Now as fast as possible, the DRS wing right wide open. Let's see if he can brake hard enough and go. Yeah, that's perfectly taken into Ascari. A little bit of correcting with the steering wheel and the exit of Ascari, but so far I think it's gonna be a very good lap. Going through in the last turn of Parabolica, keeping it short, hitting the apex very well, and now making sure that the distance is as short as possible to the finish line. What's it gonna be? It's gonna be pole position so far, with a 1:17.9.
Yep, and my prediction of someone breaking into the 17s came true, and I don't get many of these predictions right. But yeah, Mr. Anger, that lap, it just looked completely hooked up. There was a few little corrections here and there, just a little bit of a wheel spin on the exit of the second Lesmo, and of course the little bit of a snap of oversteer on the exit of Ascari could provide him just a little bit of extra time if he gets under pressure from Zudema. But right now, Mr. Anger in prime position to take pole here.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta search all the limits that you can take on this track to get the fastest lap out, because you don't have a lot of corners to gain time on the rest of the grid, and you gotta make sure that your setup is like as low as possible with the wings, so you gotta just brake as hard as possible and try to win as much time as you can into the braking zones.
Yep, and now we're going to see if Zudema can instantly respond to Mr. Anger, who has gone 4 tenths quicker than him. That's what he needs to find, 4 tenths, as he just starts his flying lap, revving it out in 8th gear, braking at the 100. Doesn't get the nicest of run through turn 1 there. You really want to take a little bit more of that inside curve to open up turn 2. But now for the Curva Grande, keeping it lovely and tight to the right hand side as we look for that 100-meter board into the second chicane. Very nicely done indeed. Now into the Lesmos, 4th gear, short shift into 5th, into 6th, into 7th, then back down to 5th gear there. And doesn't get a little squiggle on, which is what happened with Mr. Anger. So we'll see if this is going to be purple in the middle sector. Let's have a look. It is purple in the middle sector. Now into Ascari.
Oh, he went a little bit wide over there.
Yeah, he took a lot of the inside curve there on the exit of Ascari, and that, I believe, will compromise him on the run down into Parabolica as he breaks just before the 50, but runs out incredibly wide.
Do you think that's down to the dirty air, or was it just braking very late?
I think he was just trying to push it as hard as possible, and unfortunately just pushed the limits of Parabolica just a little bit too much. But interestingly enough, I have noticed that the 100-meter brake marker board into turn 1 has been destroyed, so that's going to actually affect Zudema, because I know he runs without the racing line.
Yeah, I was just following Tixi, who was going purple in the second sector as well. He was 2 tenths up, but he nearly lost the car into the exit of Ascari. Nearly crashed, but could save the car right there, so pretty well done. Otherwise it would be game over, and like, I think he still can improve that lap time and maybe challenge Mr. Renke for pole position if he can nail the lap.
As we got E2 in the Haas, purple in sector 2, a nice run out of Ascari. There is a Red Bull not too far ahead. I believe that is Sven, who's currently sat in 8th place as we go now through Parabolica with E2. What is this going to be? Is he going to be able to improve and get himself up the order? No, he's going to duck out into the pits.
Yeah, it's only 3 minutes to go, so they want to make sure that they can put on fresh soft tires and go out in the end of the session, because if the temperature out there will go up, then the track is gonna what's it called? Can't think of the word right now. Evaluate?
Heat up?
Yeah, it's gonna be faster for sure in the end, so you gotta make sure that you're maybe the last car out before the flag's out, so you can have the most advantage on track.
Yep, and right now, XC and Roland Rick, the two guys who set their laps on the medium compound tires. Roland Rick is still inside the top 10 on a set of mediums.
Yeah, I'm curious if these guys will try to improve their lap on the soft tire, or if they just want to stick to the medium. Oh,
But
we
we'll have
got
to wait and
Velo
see.
retiring from the track, in the pits, I mean. So I think he's very happy with his lap time over there.
Yep, Velo thinking that he has done enough. But inbounds Cupid is going to be the man who's going to be setting his lap time first as he comes through the Curva Grande on his flying lap. Let's see what this is going to be in sector one. He gets onto the grass, so and that's going to just compromise him a good amount. You don't want to be hitting the grass and picking up any grass on those tires. It can make locking up into the corners a lot easier, as well as you got that little bit of a slide that you get from just touching the grass, which does compromise you and slow you down.
We got Taxi letting inbounds Cupid, letting him through, but at the moment we got inbounds Cupid with 1/10 getting quicker as this last time, but will it be enough to be faster than the Ferrari to get into that top 10 position?
I don't think so. He needed 4 attempts.
Let's see if he can improve that lap time. He's now at the last turn of Parabolica. Let's see if he will improve his lap time. He does a 1:21.6. So he did improve, but it's not enough to get into the top 10 position.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for a second flying lap. So he's putting an extra lap on those tires, and XC has actually come out on a set of the mediums as he's just started his flying lap. However, I think the next person to be crossing the line is going to be the Mercedes of XL Brie as he opens DRS on the run down now towards Ascari. So on board with the man in the Mercedes. 2 temps up in the purple middle sector as he goes through Ascari. Let's see what the run is like out of it. That is perfect. Inch perfect there from Brie. And he is challenging Velo's time, who retired in the pit. He was happy with it, but he might find himself losing.
V5 also spun out of the exit of Ascari, but yeah, let's see what Axel Brie can do. He improves to P5 with 180.841, so that's a pretty solid lap.
But Redeemer improving with a 18.1, but it's not enough to challenge Mr. Anker. A bit of slipstream there for E2 as he's on the run down into Parabolica. Hopefully that slipstream would have helped him a good amount. Is he going to be able to take third away from Trixie?
Nope, he doesn't improve. Or did he?
I believe it was only a minor improvement, but XC now to the line. And this is
nope, he
way
doesn't
off
improve at all. I saw also that Mr. Anker was going for a flying lap, but he crashed at the exit of Ascari, so I'm curious if there will be crashes into the race, if people will have that, yeah, if they will crash too into the race.
Yeah, I mean, with Ascari, it really is a lottery every time. If you hit that inside curb on the exit, it doesn't settle the car enough that it can't just spin you completely out, and it's a lottery if you're going to survive that crash or not.
Yeah. So let's go through the grid for the race. So we got in pole position with a 117.9 from Mr. Anka. In P2 we got Zadema, P3 Tixi. Then we got E2, XL Brie, Velo. In P7 we got V5, P8 we got Sven. P9 we got Exi, and rounding off the top 10 we got Hardy, all on the softer tires. P11 we got Rolling Rick with a lap time on the mediums. P12 is Inbounds Cupid, and Kupke with no time set due to a crash into the exit of Ascari. So yeah, the strategy for sure will be soft to medium, but do you think that maybe some guys will go for an undercut and going to the hards?
Um, to be honest, I don't think the hards are going to be touching this race unless you have an incident on lap one or a very early safety car. Just because the hards, I don't think are very good as a race tire here. I believe the mediums would be more beneficial.
Yeah, it all will depend, I think, on if there will be an early safety car or not, or maybe a virtual safety car, because you can gain a lot of time when the virtual safety car is out and you're like just crossing the pit entry, so you can gain a lot of time when the virtual safety car is out.
Yeah, we'll have to see what these guys outside the top 10 do, as well as everyone is getting themselves up for the formation lap. So there's the pit strategy. It's popped up on my screen. Around lap 11, we should be seeing the pit stop onto the medium. So undercut lap would be around lap 10, maybe lap 9. And the only person on a set of the mediums is the man in last place, Kripke.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Rolling Wreck onto the softer tires because he set it a lap time on the mediums, but didn't decided to go onto the medium tire into the race. So I'm very surprised with that decision.
He definitely took a gamble trying to qualify in the top 10 of the mediums, but the issue is that you don't want to be caught out at the very beginning with a safety car and you have a hard tire on.
Yeah, you also don't want to risk because I mean if you're in the middle pack of the field, there is always more of a chance that you will get caught into traffic and maybe it will break some front wing damage, as you said. So yeah, it's a gamble you gotta take sometimes, and it's better maybe to play it safe into the first couple of laps to make sure that your car stays intact and risk it all and get front wing damage into the beginning of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, so with the first two corners being that chicane into turn one, I mean that is always a recipe for wing damage. Running into turn one, especially if you're in the mid pack, that can always throw up a fair few incidents. But I'm interested to see how Kripke gets on because he didn't get a lot of running in qualifying, losing it in a scurry at the very beginning.
Yeah,
So he's going to go slow and steady
he
at the
surely
start.
has to make a lot of work to get to the field because it's all gonna be a slipstream fest, and if you're in a DRS train, it's gonna be hard to overtake the guy in front of you because he can just use overtake, DRS, and that's it. Then it's gonna be tough to make sure that you can overtake him. So everyone is now getting onto their grid position. So let's see if Axel Zerma can challenge Mr. Anka to get that first place off him. We got 5 red lights getting off right now. 5 red lights. And away we go. We got a good start from Mr. Anka, but a bad start also in the back from Velo. But can Zerma go challenge Mr. Anka? No, he's defending the position and into turn 1. We got Taxi going on to the inside of Zerma. They're going side by side together. Is there gonna be a challenge? Yeah, we got
trying to around the outside of Trixie there for second place. Udema and Bree losing out massively at the start of this race.
wow, that's not the start that you wanted for the two McLaren boys, but a very good start from Taxi, who gets promoted to the second position, and a very good start from Mr. Anke, who already got more than a second between him and the guy in second place. We got also we got V5 now side by side with Hardy, who is gonna make it into P8. Oh, they make contact. We got V5 still keeping it just on track. Oh, he goes very wide, nearly colliding with the wall over there, losing a few positions to Rolling Rick and to the McLaren driver of Velo.
Yep, and Velo getting through on Rolling Rick there, back up into ninth place, and now he's got to get onto the back of Hardy, and Yeah, just a little bit of contact in the Scary can really unsettle the cars. Looking to see if we're going to get any moves going into turn one, as we got a lovely little timing glitch going on.
Yeah, we saw that Villa was looking for a move on to Hardy for a 8th position, but didn't decided to go for it in the end. Yeah, I got a glitch right now too, of everyone just moving around like crazy. But yeah, I think it will be sorted out in a second.
Yeah, it's sorted now. So a fantastic start there from Mr. Anga. He's already outside the DRS range. E2 and Zudema were battling a little bit, so Trixie is able to. He's got it right on the cusp of being out of DRS.
Yeah, so we are now looking who gained the most positions. At the moment we have Exi who gained 4 positions at the start, Zodema who lost 2 positions, and V5 who lost 4 positions as well due to that little contact moment with Hardy, I believe. So let's see if these guys can gain their positions back up again. So at the moment we got Mr. Anka going into the lead, 2-second gap already.
Bree down the inside of Sven into turn one. P6, and it looks like Bree's going to get that move done. Absolutely fantastic.
Brilliant move. Gets it very cleanly done. Breaking a bit later than Sven and just making sure that he can still hit the apex of the corner.
Yeah, we got E2 now starting to close in on Trixie for the battle for second. Is starting to heat up.
Oh, he nearly lost the back end over there into the first Lesmo. Was a great catch, otherwise that would have been very ugly for the car. And I'm sure that Günther Steiner wouldn't be happy with a damaged Haas car.
No, after watching a few episodes of Drive to Survive, I think we know his attitude when it comes to people disappointing him.
We have also our first penalty of Axel Brie, who had a few corner cuttings already.
Yeah, but now this should be where E2 should be able to get past Trixie with the DRS on the run down into turn one. I don't think Trixie is going to fight it. Not in overtake. Here comes E2. Moves to the inside. Side by side into turn one.
They kept it very clean, but E2 with the move, he makes it stick down the inside of the first chicane. But will Dixie go back and get that P2 back? Yeah, he's gonna. Is he gonna send it into the second chicane? Yes, he will, and he takes that position. Oh, they're still going side by side, keeping it clean, but Dixie keeps. Oh, we suddenly got McLaren drive. Oh, they make contact. It was a very close call once again for the Haas driver, but yeah, that didn't work out for E2 at all. Losing a position now to Zerdema, so.
Yeah, unfortunately, the second chicane, as tantalizing as it is to go for a move down the inside, and it did work out there for Trixie, too wide in the second part of that chicane. It just doesn't work. Sometimes the car who is on the inside for that second part of the chicane just either makes contact or just loses it over that bump, and we saw Zudema just absolutely pick his moment and get through on E2 there going into the Lesmos, and now it is Zudema's chance to start to attack Trixie.
Yeah, you gotta say that Dixie defended that second position very hard, but still clean enough, so I must say very well done from the Renault driver. And yeah, it's sometimes a gamble that you gotta take if you wanna keep on battling for to keep that second position, because now the price or the cost that he make was to give up the third position to Axel Zuidema, and he says thank you very much, and yeah, keeps that third position.
Well, this is a big race for Zudema because he has a fantastic opportunity to really close up on second in the championship.
Yeah, so let's see if Zuidema still can close up to Dixie and challenge for that second position. And if E2 can claim back the third position, but because I'm sure that he wouldn't be too happy with losing that third position spot, the final spot of the podium.
Oh no, we'll have to wait and see if Zuidema is going to be able to get past Trixie. I don't think he will.
Yeah, the
At
thing
this
is now
moment.
also for E2, what he's gonna struggle now is that he's stuck in a DRS train, and the guy in front of him will have DRS as well, so it's gonna be tough to overtake the guy in front of you.
And Hardy say, oh, a bit of contact made between the Ferrari and the Mercedes.
Oh, that was very close between those two, but yeah, V5 who couldn't make the move stick onto Hardy, I believe, but we got now a very beautiful helicopter shot of the two racing each other. Oh, we got Cube K under the in the meantime, overtaking Rolling Wreck into the medium tire, so he's climbing up slowly, but he will get there in the end, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to have that benefit of being on soft tyres at the end, which should help him with the pace advantage that he would have over these guys. So I'm expecting Kripke to get himself
Oh, we
a
got a
decent amount
crash!
of points.
We got V5 who crashed very heavily at the exit of Ascari, who was trying to go for a move on Hardy, who was going slower as him. We got a virtual safety car right now out. We got people into the pit box. Let's go quickly to them.
It's just
So we got Tixi and Sven into the pit lane already, trying to take the gamble of the virtual safety car.
and Hardy into the pits as well. So rolling Rick into the pits. And Trixie going on to the set of the hard compound tyres.
So yeah, after all, as I said, the hard tires could be used when there was an early safety car. So
I personally would have gone with the mediums. You were only 4 laps out from the natural pit stop of the soft to the medium, so I would have gone mediums here. So I think Sven has played that a lot better than
yeah.
what Trixie has done.
The thing is, you gotta manage your tires very well because you got now 20 laps to go on those mediums tires, and I know that in the last couple of laps that the tires can go off very quickly once you get to drift more often due to the tires being more damaged. So let's see if Sven can keep those tires until the end of the race.
Yep, as gaps have now begun to form with everyone a little bit spaced out. So a couple of people got caught napping on that VSC restart. But it does look like E2 just done enough to get within the DRS of Zuidema, but he is 1.4 seconds behind now.
Yeah, so at the moment, let's see who made a pit stop already. So we only got Tixi, Sven, and the two Ferraris who made a pit stop. And you gotta know that the top 12 guys all get points, so everyone will just now basically finish the race will have points, all of them. So
Yep, all you gotta do is get to the line and you've guaranteed yourself a few points. As we got Bree, as we got yellow flag in sector 2, I think that might have been for Bree actually.
yeah, he has damage, I think, on the front left of his front wing. I'm not sure what happened though, if they make contact or not, but I suppose that he lost it at the second chicane of
He definitely has end plate damage there. Does XL Bree as we got Tixie getting through on inbounds. So Tixie now up into 8th place as he tries to begin this charge.
we got the
And with the
inbounds lifting off very heavily for to make the exit of the corner of Escari, but yeah, let's see if Tixi now can close up maybe and make sure that the gap will be closer once Mr. Anka has to pit, because they pitted under the virtual safety car, so that means that the gap will be closer normally once Mr. Anka has to pit, but you gotta remember that Tixi is on the harder tire, so it's gonna be interesting who will come out in front for the net P1 position.
Yep, and right now I still think Mr. Anka has a good enough gap. He's got a 28-second lead to Tixi right now.
So
Is that 28 or is it 26? I believe it's 28.
yeah, let's see what the gap is. Yeah, it's 28 seconds at the moment between Tixi and Mr. Anka, and I'm not too sure, but oh, there we go. Mr. Anka is pulling into the pit lane, so let's follow with him where he will come out and how quick his pit stop will be.
There's Redeemer's in behind him as well. E2 continues on.
So we got now E2 picking over that first place position. Mr. Anka going onto the medium tires as expected, but let's see, where will he come out and where is Tixi? Tixi is now at the exit of Parabolica, but I think Mr. Anka will have it. Will just come out behind Kupki for a fourth position, so yeah, not to. I think that's pretty well done from Mr. Anka to keep that lead.
Yep, and the issue now for Mr. Anka is he does have a little bit of traffic of Kripke ahead of him. Might slow him down just a little bit as he goes to the inside. That's a little peak, but didn't want to send it.
Yeah, and it's now all up to the Red Bull driver if he's gonna hold him up or just gonna let him pass easily, because they are on two different strategies, because Kupke still needs to pit later on, but I think Mr. Anka will try to get this move done quickly around the outside even. Was very close call with the wall over there, but he makes the move stick before Ascari moves up to third position.
Yeah, and this is where we're going to see if Trixie has made the right call, because Zudema, he's going to be closing in on those mediums, and we'll see if Trixie can hold off. I think that Zudema is going to be able to get past him, and he should have the pace on those mediums to pull away as well.
Yeah, so at the moment we are following Axel Brie, who is at the back of Hardy in the Ferrari. Axel Brie on the medium tires, but yeah, let's see if he can put a move on to the Ferrari driver. We also adjust E2 going into the pits, but he's 4 seconds behind Axel Zerma at the moment.
Yep, so that's the power of the undercut right there. E2 staying out for that extra lap and really costing himself a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm curious what Etino will do, because he will have fresher tires as Dixie and Zuidema for sure. So, well, he has to close the gap first to get into the DRS. So because Zuidema at the moment also doesn't have DRS of Dixie, as the gap is just 1.1 seconds between them.
Yep, and Zudema just about within the DRS window, or was he? I don't know, but it looks like Trixie's using his ERS very well there. He is timing where he's using it just to make sure that Zudema does not get a DRS, but he does have the DRS, and now he should be closing in.
I don't think he has DRS though. I don't see him opening the rear wing flap, so. But in the meantime, we got Axel Breed right behind the Ferrari driver. Will he get to overtake the Ferrari driver right in front of the tifosi of the Italian fans? Yes, he will. Going side by side with Hardy right now, who is trying to defend the position very hard, but Axel Brie, who breaks just a little bit later to make the move stick. Now is the question, will he fight back to claim the 9th place or not? He's looking
Looks
for
like
it,
he
he's
is.
looking at it, he tried to do the dummy, he's sending it down the inside of the first chicane, they just about don't make contact, but well defended from Axel Brie.
Yeah, Bree doing a fantastic job, and Trudema now very close to the back of Tixie, and this is the battle for what will be second place once Kripke makes his pit stop.
He's braking much later as it takes into that final corner. So let's see if he will try to make a move onto the Renault driver, but he's not using overtake at the moment, so I think he's gonna stick behind him for a little while, saving that ERS and then try to pull a gap to close the gap to Kupke, who still has to pit, not to mention.
Yep, just a little update on Kripke's on when he should be pitting. Believe he's going to be pitting in around 5 laps time.
We also have Velo going around the outside of Sven for 6th place, so he gets the moves done. So pretty well done. I think he got a better exit than the Red Bull driver, so
Picks up a 3-second pen in the process, though.
that's gonna hurt in the end of the race if there's gonna be guys within 3 seconds or maybe more. But yeah, the other McLaren driver still stuck at behind the Renault driver Dixie, so I'm curious if he will go for a move or try to just save his tires a little bit behind Dixie.
Well, he has saved some ERS, and he's now up onto 70%.
If I was him, I would just wait one more lap and then try to pull a gap, using all his overtake or pretty much most of it, and maybe try to get that fastest lap as well, while going to get out of that DRS. So, but he first has to make the move, of course, and he's using the overtake right now. So, is he gonna try to send it around the outside? It's very close between them. They make contact. Was a very close call between those guys, and I'm sure that Axel Zerma wouldn't be too happy with that squeeze of the Renault driver. But yeah, was a very close call, and I'm not sure if he lost DRS or DRS. I mean the front wing damage or not. What do you think?
I have a terrible camera angle for this at the moment, as I'm waiting to get a decent one, and no, the wing looks visually still intact, so Trudema's got off quite lucky there. However, he will be channeling his inner Fernando Alonso all the time. You have to leave it a space.
Yeah, it was very tight, and I was pretty surprised that Taxi would close that gap so tight down the insides. And also we got now Cupcake going to the softer tires, but let's see. We got Zedema going for the overtake onto Taxi and makes it stick. We also had a crash, I think, from let's see who it is. Yep, that's Hardy who spun at the exit of Ascari. So, but I don't think he has damage on his front wing, so maybe just a big flat spot on all of his tires. But yeah, it's a shame that that happened.
However, now this is what we got. We got a Kripke now right on the back of Brie, and that's going to be for 8th place. So starting on the mediums did work out for Kripke because he stayed out of trouble, didn't get involved in any battles, and now he's starting to reap the rewards because he can definitely get Brie here on those softer tires. Question is he going to be able to close up enough to Exy and Sven? Time will tell.
Do you think that he still can fight for the top 5? Because it's now 12 laps to go, and he has the tire advantage for sure because he's on the quickest tires of them all. So he has to make those moves very quickly. But oh, we got another retirement.
Hardy. It's a full course safety car. Everyone should be into the pits now for the set of the softs, and in comes Tixie.
Wow, that car doesn't look good at all. But yeah, we got Taxi Velo going into the pits. We got E2 just kept on going, I think. So I'm not sure if they responded too late or not, but nearly everyone is going now for the pits, and we got Kupke, of course, because he just pitted. Is gonna take this advantage and goes up to 6th position right now. So that's the risk sometimes you gotta
And
take when you have when you start onto the harder compounds.
I think what's happened right here, Mr. Anger has actually just done a fantastic job right now because he managed to pass the safety car before he was deployed, so the safety car did not stop him, or Zudema, or E2, or Exi. So these guys are going to be sticking to a delta speed, and they shouldn't lose a huge amount of time to those guys who have just pitted. So they have just been saved by the fact that Mr. Anker had such a gap
Yeah,
ahead of Zudema.
and he's gonna pit, of course. Yeah, he has a gap that's big enough, I think, to the guy who pitted. But I think I'm not sure if Zelwa will keep on going. Let's see what he's gonna do. He's gonna go into the pits as well, and same goes to no Ito stays out. Oh, and we got inbound Cupid in the meantime, having a drive to penalty for speeding under the safety car. So that's
And
a
we
shame.
just saw Brie get one as well.
They probably didn't stick maybe behind the limits. I'm not sure though what happened over there. But I'm surprised that E2 stays out onto these medium tires.
But yeah, you see Trixie unable to get that advantage because Mr. Anker had such a lead that these guys had to stick to a delta, and Zudema comes out still ahead.
So, do you think that E2 can manage and defend from Mr. Anka? Because Mr. Anka has been dominating this whole race, but he has to make the move stick if he want to get that first place, of course.
Well, E2 favouring track position right now, and I think this is a bad call. But Exi has pitted for a set of the mediums, so he's got a fresh set of mediums on.
Wait, why would he do that? Like, you can go to on the softer tires until the end of the race for sure. I'm surprised that he went for some interesting strategies at the moment from E2 and from Exi as well.
Yeah, so maybe they're not confident about getting the softs to the end. The mediums will definitely go to the end, and it's going to be interesting because the mediums, they're going to be a lot slower at the start on the safety car restart, but as we go to the latter stage of this race, they will become the better tyre.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't have a fresh set of softer tires available anymore, and he thought like, okay, let's just use a newer set of medium tires then, I guess.
I mean, I'm guessing he didn't want to chuck on a set that he already ran in qualifying, but even then, it's only one lap of where you've really put into those tires, so they should definitely get to the end, especially with the safety car staying out for what I presume will be one more lap after this, but I don't know, I could be wrong. I think everyone might be able to close up before the end of this lap, but safety car I think should be in either this lap or the next lap.
Also, looking at the position changes at the moment, we got E2 gaining like 3 places at the moment, but what surely has to be mentioned, Kupke with 8 places gained right now, starting from last place now into the top 5, so it's impressive how he got sort of lucky with the safety car, of course, because if that safety car wasn't there, we would have talked about a whole other story right now, but...
Well, you asked, do you think he can get top 5? Well, he's currently in the top 5.
Yeah. Well, let's see if he can maybe challenge for the top 3, because if these guys have penalties and he can stick between the 3-second gap, he can get on that podium. That would be massive.
He can. But now this is going to be interesting because Mr. Anka has now been he's been slowed up. Zudema and Trixie do have an opportunity to maybe get themselves ahead of Mr. Anker. And if they can, Mr. Anker's really going to have to fight for this win now.
Yeah. The safety car surely has mixed up the grid completely and made this race back interesting, if it wasn't already, but now we have a battle for the lead, at least. So I'm looking forward to see what E2 can do against the leader of the championship at the moment.
Well, right now the championship leader, Mr. Anker, does have the fastest lap, so he will be getting that honour as it stands. But with everyone on the soft tyre, I'm expecting the fastest laps to start the plummet.
We also have a position change, I think, under the safety car between Inbounds, Cupid and Sven. I'm not sure if it counted or not, because I know there is a safety car glitch going around on this game, and it happened to me before too, around Canada, I think it was around here. So I'm not sure if that glitch just happened to one of these drivers or not. I hope not, but let's see after the race what they have to say.
Unfortunately for Inbounds and Bree, they have a drive-through penalty which they're gonna have to serve. We did see that pop up. So these two are gonna have a nice little battle for what will be P10, because I don't think they'll be able to close back up unless there's another safety car. But the battle for the lead is going to be intriguing, and we should have the notification saying the safety car is in this lap. There it is. And now E2 controls the pace.
I'm curious because E2 has to warm up his tires way more often because they are a harder compound. So I'm curious if Mr. Anker will go for it right away at the main straight of the Italian Grand Prix. But let's see E2 now slowing down because the safety car is still way too close, I believe. But let's see when he speeds up. Yeah, he's still slowing down right now. It's gonna be close, just like in the real life Italian Grand Prix. But yeah, we got a whole lot of battles right now going on. We got 4 wide, nearly. Only.
Inside, he's gonna try on Zudema as well. A bit of contact there with Velo. And Trixie and Zudema side by side. Zudema holding on to third. And E2 keeping the lead for the time being. However, I do have a feeling we may see some team orders coming in very soon, because I'm sure Zudema is going to try and hold up Trixie so Velo
we got Mr. Anker going down the inside of the first Lesbo, getting that P1 position of E2. Caught in napping, but what a move from Mr. Anker.
Yeah, fantastic from Mr. Anker there. And as I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we're going to see Zudema try and back up Trixie into Velo, so Velo can really hold up Trixie, and it gives Zudema a good opportunity to really attack Mr. Anker. And he's now looking at the back of E2 for second place. This will be crucial. Zudema to get a good run out of Parabolica. He's in overtake.
E2 will run out of ERS, so Zudema making a very easy move right now due to E2 not having enough ERS.
Comes Trixie.
Oh, he's gonna try to send. Is he gonna send it? No, he's gonna think better of it. But E2 trying to look back to gain that second place, but can't make it stick. But is he gonna use some overtake right now to get second place back again? But we got Dixie going down the inside before the second chicane. They are going side by side, but Dixie makes a move stick to get that final spot of the position, and it was a very important move.
That was crucial. Now Dixie really needs to start putting the pressure on Zudema. Velo now needs to get past E2 ASAP to try and back up his teammate.
He still has a lot of ERS left, Velo. So I think he's gonna save it and then maybe go for it on the main straight. to get the optimal speed and to make sure that E2 wouldn't attack back for 4th place.
Mr. Anger, by the way, has absolutely drained all of his ERS in pursuit of the fastest lap, and I think we are going to see it here as he crosses the line. It's a 20.1.
Again, E2 running out of ERS, I think, and Velo making the move for 4th place, trying to get the 3rd spot right now. So can Velo claim that 3rd place position?
Well, this is the thing now. Zudema, he's got to realise that the only hope he's got of catching Mr. Anger right now is a 3-second penalty. And now it's about constructors. Does he back Uxie into Velo so Velo can have a chance of getting that final podium spot?
Yeah, I mean, he has the option right now to just race his own race, Axel Zerma, or just help his teammate out, try to back off Tixi, but just not enough because Tixi can go for a move, of course. So let's see what he will do, if Velo has to do it on his own or not.
Well, Velo is starting to close in on Tixi. Gap down to 4/10.
We also have Velo with more ERS to use right now as Tixi, so it's gonna be important in the end to see who has the most ERS to use to attack or defend.
That's the thing now. Tixi knows the situation he's in. He is in a McLaren sandwich. He is the Renault fill-in, and he needs to break out of this. And he ideally does not want to be behind Velo. He would want to be ahead of Zudema as he picks up a 3-second time penalty.
That's gonna hurt him a lot in the end of the race, but he has to hope right now that the McLaren boys have a penalty as well and the guys behind, because if they all stick behind into the 3-second gap, then he's gonna lose a lot, but a lot of positions right now. I think if things stays like this and he's the only guy with the 3-second penalty, he's gonna move up to P5 right now. So
E2 picks himself up a 3-second time penalty as well. That's going to hurt him. He stayed out on those mediums and he does not need to be picking up penalties.
Gotta keep an eye too on the Red Bull driver of Sven, who is right behind Exi right now. Gap is pretty close too, but right now we're following Exi, who is looking for a move on Axel Zedma, but he isn't close enough to...
Oh, Sven! Oh, he goes onto the grass there to get that move. Down the inside.
Oh, he pushes him onto the curb. They make contact.
Yes, Sven getting through there, but was it within the racing etiquette that you would assume is clean racing, fair racing there? I'm not sure, but Sven up into 7th. That is the only thing that we can say right now.
It's so close out there for 2nd place, because Tixi is still into the DRS zone of Axel Zedema, but Velo is a little bit closer to Tixi than Tixi is to Zedema, so it's gonna be close for sure, because it depends also if Zedema or Velo will... You got a crash?
Actually, no. And the exit with Ascari, and there's a VSC.
So what happened there? Did he just lose a car, or was too late to see it?
He must have just dropped it on the exit with Ascari, because he's over there on the left in the wall. And we are down to 10 runners now with 3 more laps to go in this race. Mr. Anger, absolutely fantastic job, and he's well on his way to the Grand Slam for this weekend. Pole position, fastest lap, and the race win. The battle for 2nd is really heating up, and it looks like Tixie got a very good restart compared to Velo, as he has dropped a decent amount of time to him.
He didn't have the cleanest run down to the second chicane, so it's gonna be important to stick into the DRS right now, because otherwise if you fall out it's gonna be hard to work your car back into that 1 second gap. Let's see, because right now we got Tixie right behind the McLaren driver, so it's now or never to make a move, because now he doesn't have to look back really, because the gap is a little bit bigger and he now can fully focus back on the other McLaren driver up in front. Nearly
He gets a
losing,
bit of a snapper.
yeah,
Just a bit of oversteer, and that could put him under pressure from Velo.
let's see if he is close enough. He's not really closing in due to Tixie having the RS as well.
I think if Velo used his overtake there, he might have been able to make a move. But he decided against it. Maybe Velo knows that Tixie has a 3-second time penalty. He's not. He knows he doesn't have to overtake him or something.
Yeah, you can always ask Jeff, and most of the time he tells how many penalties the driver in front has. So I'm not sure. I'm sure they would have used it by now, but I mean, if I was a driver, I always wanted to finish up in front, whether he has a penalty or not. So I'd rather make the move on track than off track, because you never know if it can get deleted or not.
Yes, and interestingly enough, what we got now, we got a Kripke onto the back of V2. He's just within that DRS window. And this could be for 5th place.
Yeah, so Kripke, who was 5th place before when the safety car came in, so I'm not sure.
Velo got a jump on him, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so, but he's looking very quick right now, right behind the Renault driver, trying to brake a little bit later as him to close that gap. And it's the last lap right now, so it's now or never basically for the Renault driver and for the McLaren driver right now to get a 3rd spot. But at the moment the gap is a little bit too big to go for a move, I think. So I think maybe Velo is trying to keep it clean and make sure that he doesn't have any penalties.
Yeah, the one good thing for Velo though is that he can unleash all of his ERS right now on his back straight and run down into Parabolica as well.
Yeah, I don't think that he's close enough to go for a move anymore.
Yeah, I think he has dropped back a little bit. But see if Trixie can get close enough to Zudema, but...
Yeah. Let's see, down to the last corner goes the guy who dominated this whole Grand Prix. We got Mr. Anka winning the Italian Grand Prix from a mile ahead from the other driver. So let's see. We got Velo taking that 3rd spot due to Tixie his penalty. So it's a 2-3 for the McLaren drivers. Kripke, who goes to P5, overtaking E2 due to penalties, I believe.
Sven was so close to it as well.
Yeah, indeed. Now Rolling Rick finishing into 8th place. Now the Mercedes driver and the Haas driver, and we got the whole grid finishing. So let's see if there are any penalties. You know, Axel Bree stays in P9, and now the final driver who has to finish right now with the Renault facing backwards right in the middle of the track. But yeah, what a race.
Yep, a very interesting race. A brilliant battle between Zudema and Tixie for that entire race. And then with Velo at the end being able to get involved to some degree.
We also have driver of the day, Kripke. I think I have to give it to Kripke as well for driver of the day. I mean, Mr. Anka dominated this whole Grand Prix. Did absolutely nothing wrong, nothing quali, despite that little crash in the end. But yeah, he drove a masterclass of a of a race, and so did Köpke, starting from last place, getting that top 5 position.
Yeah, I'll probably give it to Mr. Anka.
Yeah.
So you
let's
give it to Kripke, I'll give it to Anka.
So at first place we got Mr. Anka, second place we got Axel Zedema, after that hard battle with Taxi. Rounding off the podium positions we got Velo. P4 due to penalties we got Taxi in the Renault. P5 from a very good comeback of Köpke. P6 E2 due to penalties. P7 we got Sven. P8 in the Ferrari for the Tifosi. Rolling wreck. P9 we got Axel Brie in the Mercedes guy. And running off the top 10 we got Inbound Cupid. And P11 we got Axie due to DNF and Hardy rounding off for the points. It's a shame that these guys crashed too, and also not to mention V5 due to an early crash too in the race.
Yeah, unfortunately, no points for Xe and Hardy there, just because they DNF'd sometime before the end of the race. I think it's 90% you have to complete before you actually get
Yeah,
classified.
that's right. So it's only then the top 10 we will get the points, but still a wonderful Grand Prix driven by all of these guys.
Yep, and then a Grand Slam, and I believe, just trying to do a little bit of math in my head, the gap was 88 points plus 6, 94. 114 points now the gap lays.
Never say never, but yeah, I think Mr. Anka has it in the bag, to be honest, for this championship. I mean, a lot of things still can happen, but he has been so dominant this season, and it's insane to see him doing so well, like making absolutely no mistakes and still getting that first place position.
Yeah, it has been an absolutely stellar drive from Mr. Anka this entire season, and he is reaping the rewards right now, because he could wrap it up next week. Sorry, not next week. In 2 weeks' time at Singapore, because we have the break week coming up next week.
Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. This video will be recorded, of course, because my laptop can't stream it, sadly enough. But I hope you guys will enjoy the race, and I hope you enjoyed all the battles that have been going on Circuit de Monza, d'Italia. So I want to thank you, Mike, for joining in as commentator as well with me tonight, and yeah, hope you guys have a good night. So that's it.